Good afternoon, Niner fans. How are we feeling? I don't know. The Niners right now have the injury bug. Thankfully, sorry, my hair. I gotta get sure my hair is good because I got patience after this. But good afternoon, Niner fans. How are we feeling today? The 49ers gave us another update. Thank you, Kyle Shanahan. He just gave us a little bit of an update, and we're gonna talk about that because there's some bad news, there's some good news, there's some news, and there's some maybe kind of news that's not either good or bad. It's kind of in between. So let's talk all about it. I hope everybody's having a great day today. But yeah, first and foremost, how are you doing? Hello, Debbie. Hello, SF Flood. Hello, Niner fans. The big news right off the bat is Jon Feliciano, who's been dealing with some knee issues. He had a sore knee. He had some, he missed some time because of his knee. And now, according to Kyle Shanahan, he had knee surgery and he will be placed on the injured reserve to start the season. Kyle Shanahan expects him back mid-season. I don't know. That's tough, man. The good news, if there is any good news about injuries, there's usually not any injuries. The good news is Dominic Bly, the rookie offensive lineman, is looking absolutely fantastic. Preseason, I get it. It's preseason, but he looks good. Dominic Bly has been just a stalwart. 44 pass rush attempts, and he's only let out one pressure per PFF. Guy's been really good. I don't know. You guys have seen all the highlights, you know, all the film breakdowns people have posted. I posted one on Twitter with all his little nice little pass blocking clips. Baldy, he posted one. Like, it is impressive how good this guy looks. He looks like a veteran in the league. He doesn't just look like some geek off the street, some rookie. It definitely has some, uh, development he needs to do. But this kid looks absolutely great, well beyond his years. So love what I see at Pooney. It opens the door for him to start. Good news also is Spencer Burford has got cleared to do individual drills. We all know he broke his hand, so he's progressing. So now you can have Burford and Pooney in there, the two youngsters. You got Aaron Banks, who had a surgery on his finger. He broke his finger, so he's dealing with that. There's a lot of injuries, but Dominic Bly right now is perching himself up to be a starter. So it's unfortunate for Jon Feliciano, who's really good, but he's a 10-year vet. Those legs take a toll as an offensive lineman, and he will be out for at least half of the season. My man says Debo commented on your last IG post. Let's see what he said. Let's see what Debo comment on my post. Uh, that's not BA. That's not BA. Oh, that's not BA. That's right. Oh, that was not BA. We'll see. We gotta have to repost that. We'll have to repost that one. Anyways, the good news is the 49ers don't have a real game to play for another couple of weeks. So let's get to the other updates as well. Let's see. 49ers, again, a lot of injuries coming in, but we did have the return of Spencer Burford to individual drills. So we'll see how that goes. A couple other things. Talanoa Hufanga, he will not return to practice this week. The door's still open for him to start week one against the Jets, according to Kyle Shanahan. So Talanoa Hufanga, he's been ramped up, to do some individual drills. He's still not practicing this week, but Kyle says he might be able to start week one. So that's kind of an optimistic update. Couple other things. Isaac Garendo, he will return to practice today. The rookie who's been dealing with the hamstring injury. Spencer Burford, again, we talked about it. He's cleared for individual drills. Ben Barch, who's had a knee issue, will be back. And Patrick Taylor, who had a foot issue, running back, will be back to practice today. So those are good returns, for preseason. But they're not going to be guys that really start. Maybe Ben Barch might, possibly with these injuries, he might be able to be elevated to the team. And then the other news is Ricky Pearsall still not returned to practice. He's got the shoulder issue. Kyle wants him back maybe by week one, but this week Ricky Pearsall is not back at practice. He's still dealing with the shoulder injury. So unfortunate there that Ricky Pearsall is not back at practice. So I don't know. It's tough. Right now, again, we got a lot of injuries on the offensive line, and that's the biggest issue, is that the whole line is missing Trent Williams because he's holding out. You got, Jon Feliciano, he's going to be out for some time. Spencer Burford's coming back from the injury. It does, bode well that Dominic Bly's coming back, but you also have Aaron Banks who's dealing with that injury. I know it's a pinky, but still, it is an injury there. And to begin with, the O line wasn't the strongest group in the world. Jalen Moore doesn't look too hot. And you know what else? Colton McKivitz, can he take a big leap in year two? It's to be determined, right? A lot of people don't like Colton. He's not horrible. He's not elite though, and we want guys that are going to be able to get this team to that next level, to the Super Bowl. So it's something to keep an eye on. The um, offensive line is definitely something that's going to keep me up at night because can we protect Brock Purdy? He was running for his life out there on uh, that preseason game against the Saints the other day. So he was running for his life. So Carl says the backup O line is terrible. It's not great. Rashad says I was at the game. I was looking for you. I was there. I was section 208. So I was in the midsection. But Alex says, how are the Niners going to handle the safety room? They seem so stacked at that position. It's a good thing. But you got to remember, they have Jair Brown and Malik Mustafa, two really good young players, and George Odom. But Talanoa Hufanga is coming off an injury. So, yes, they might have great talent, but you also have to be very cautious with Talanoa Hufanga. So, it's nice to see that, Malik Mustafa is developing and everything. So, good stuff. Good stuff. Now, another thing is the 49ers, their running back department has been banged up. But the good news is Isaac Guerrero is back today in practice. That's a big jolt because they drafted him in the mid rounds. Kyle loves those mid round running backs, and typically they haven't had good success. So really excited to see if Isaac Guerrero can play this Friday. I really do because the Niners and running backs. You need to have a good wealth of running backs because you got Christian McCaffrey, but you don't want to overwork him. And Kyle says, he doesn't want to overwork him, but it's also hard not to give him the ball every time. So Isaac Guerendo's coming back. Elijah Mitchell's been banged up. Cody Schrader, he's out there. He's playing his butt off. You got J.P. Mason, who was, absent this week because of a hip injury. So it's nice to have those guys back. Matt Breida, good to know that he was looking pretty spiffy the other day against the Saints. So he's still got some juice left in those legs. Um, Carl Thomas says, would you start Purdy if you were caught? Not in the preseason without the offensive line. Get it, let it. Because here's the thing. If Brock Purdy gets hurt in the preseason game, people are going to be so pissed off. They're going to be so mad. They're going to be irritated. At the end of the day, we don't want Brock Purdy to get hurt. And I don't know, maybe Kyle wants him to get those reps. And, last year he didn't have all those reps because he was coming back from injury. I get it. I get the whole reason. I know Brock wants to go out there and try to do stuff and, get his arm ready and, try to do stuff that you wouldn't do in the regular season. But I just don't want him to get hurt because they are playing with a banged up offensive line. Pooney's great, but the rest of those guys have not looked great. So I don't know. I'm just a little afraid. I got PTSD, Niner PTSD from past seasons. I don't know about preseason started Brock. We need them healthy for week one. You need all your starters healthy for week one. Let's see. Pooney looks great. 49ers 2020 season repeat. I hope not. But right now, yeah, injuries have been pretty bad. Now, the news that you guys all wanted, Kyle Shanahan said there's no update on Trent Williams and Brandon Aiyuk. No update on Brandon Aiyuk and Trent Williams. So we're still at a standstill with both of them. Trent Williams, they said last week they've been in contact with the agent. Nothing has changed. And Brandon Aiyuk, we know the Steelers, they offered. Niners didn't want what they offered. They want him to up the ante. They said, we're going to try to work with BA. They offered BA what they offered him, and he still wants more guaranteed on his contract. That's kind of where we're at. No update. No update. No news is good news, right? I guess it's not bad. At least it's not like trending backwards. We know Brandon Aiyuk was at practice last week a couple times. So I don't know. I guess that's good news, but the fact is there's no update on Trent Williams and Brandon Aiyuk. So I'm pretty sure they'll get them figured out. They'll get them signed, right? I don't know. I really do. I hope so. We need Trent. Like Trent Williams is probably sitting back laughing, belly laughing because he knows 49ers need him badly. They need him badly, right? They need him badly. They really do. So hopefully Kyle and the Niners and John Lynch and Parag Marathe figure this out because they need Trent Williams. And they also need Brandon Aiyuk. I know a lot of people are soured on him, but he's good. Brock Purdy needs Brandon Aiyuk. This 49ers offense needs Brandon Aiyuk. They all need their best players. If you want to win a Super Bowl, you need to maximize the talent on this team. I get it. He's been doing what he needed to do to get his contract leverage up. But at this point, man, I don't think you're getting any fair draft or trade compensation at this point because Brandon Ayuk shot down the trades to the teams that were willing to give something decent. Matt Judon, draft picks, Amari Cooper. Those guys aren't coming back to the 49ers now because Brandon Ayuk shot those trades down. So you don't want to just trade them for draft picks, which the Steelers reportedly are offering. You don't want to just trade away one of your best players for a draft pick. You know what I mean? So, hmm. Ah, and Vader 49er says, I thought Williams and Shanahan were tight. I mean, they could be, but when you're dealing with contract situation, no matter how tight you are, with Debo situation, Bosa and Lynch, they're tight. But hey, contract, money talk, things get a little different, and it's a different situation. I'm sure many of you in the chat have had jobs where you've tried to negotiate your salary, even if you're great friends with your boss. It's nothing personal, but you kind of get to the point where you're like, hey, look, I want to get paid what I want to get paid. I know I was there recently, and I was like, look, dude, if you're not going to pay me, I'm going to go somewhere else. So we'll see how it goes. Powers says Dobbs QB1 now. It's a casual take. Dobbs looks good. He's QB2. QB2. Carl Thomas says Dobbs QB2. Mordecai QB3. Yo, Tanner Mordecai looking good. Looking good. They might have something with him. Might have something. So we'll see. I really like what I've seen out of Tanner Mordecai. But again, it's preseason. He's playing against the backups. Maybe they can throw him on the practice squad, but I like this kid. I'm not going to go over crazy. There's a lot of people out there. Oh, Tanner Mordecai. I know Larry loves Tanner Mordecai. He's good, but I'm going to pump the brakes on it. I'm not going to sit there and say he's, oh my God, going to be, on this roster. Well, take it with a grain of salt. My man says, give Presley Harvin the bag. That punter was punting his life away. He absolutely looked great. Who signs first, Trent or Brandon Aiyuk? I think Brandon Aiyuk. Yeah, I know Brandon Allen is very boring, but he knows the offense. And that's important for Kyle Shanahan. He wants to make sure these players understand his value, his offense and his sets, and they can run it, comfortably. But we've seen it before. Nate Sudfeld, we all thought a couple years back he was going to be on the roster because they're paying him all this money, to be a backup, and they cut him loose. So crazier things have happened. So, Invader says Shanahan trusts Allen more than Dobbs. I can guarantee you that. I could believe that take. I think he would. I think he does guarantee. I think he does trust Brandon Allen. He likes Brandon Allen. You get the sense that he does. He's not like this crazy elite player, but at the end of the day, he knows the system, and that's what you want out of your backup quarterback. You just want to make sure a guy that can come in, manage the game well, and not blow the game for you. You know what I mean? So you remember the days when we had like Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard, those guys would come in and you were like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Are we going to be able to win? And they'd blow the game. So hopefully these guys, Dobbs and Brandon Allen and Tanner Mordecai for that matter, can hold on steady and win the game, if needed. But hopefully we don't get to that point. But I will say I do like what Josh Dobbs has put together this offseason. That guy, he's playing his heart out. I'll tell you that. He's playing his heart out. So, Alex Torres. Only team rotating punters. I'm telling you, man. That punter is nice. I mean, nice. Take a couple comments and I'm going to bounce out. We're keeping it short. I just want to come on here, update you on the injuries real quick. We're going to bounce out. Got to go see some patients. Be back tonight. I'll be live with Larry Krueger. It's been a minute. Haven't been on live with Larry Krueger, so we will go talk with Larry tonight. Let's see. A couple more questions. 49ers throwback says nothing has changed according to Kyle Shanahan on Aiyuk and Trent. Yep, mentioned that. No news. I guess is good news. 49ers throwback says hope you're doing well. Take care. I hope you're doing well too. BA update says AJ Bermudez. Well, the update is there is no update. So that is pretty much the update that Kyle Shanahan gave us today. So I guess, again, no news is good news. At least it's not trending in the bad area. It's not like, oh my God, Brandon Aiyuk is mad again. I feel like they're slowly, patching things up. I think that's where they're at. So we'll see again how it goes with the rest of the week. But no update on Trent Williams and no update on Brandon Aiyuk. Again, I'm going to recap the injuries for you guys real quick in case you missed it. Jon Feliciano, he had knee surgery. He will start the season on an injured reserve. He'll likely be back by the middle of the year. This is according to Kyle Shanahan. Ricky Pearsall did not practice today. He is still dealing with the shoulder injury. Last week, Kyle Shanahan said he hopes that he could be back by week 1. We'll see how that goes. There were some returns to practice today. Rookie running back Isaac Orendo, who had a hamstring issue, returns to practice today. Spencer Burford with a broken hand. He's cleared for individual drills. Offensive lineman Ben Barch, who had a knee issue, and running back Patrick Taylor with a foot issue, returned to practice today. So those are good updates. Talanoa Hufanga will not return to practice this week, but the door is still open for him to start week 1 against the Jets per Kyle Shanahan. And again, according to Kyle Shanahan, there are no new updates or changes with Brandon Aiyuk and Trent Williams. That's it. You guys have a good rest of your day. I will see you later. If there's anything big, make sure we get to it. I love you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Go Niners.